genetically modified organisms is one important application of genetic engineering. So there, very important thing. So how is it done? So it is very well known to you, simple. So we will pick and we will take the DNA, and we will inject this new DNA into desired organism where we intend to see some changes. Okay, for example, if you want to develop pest resistant plant, or let's say drought resistant plant, so they will have to have certain specific genes into that. So for that, for the existing plant, we will introduce some pest resistant gene kind of element. So likewise it happens. So that process would be done in general way. So here, if you look from the perspective of examples of genetically modified crops in India, so here we have certain crops. So you might have heard of these names like BT cotton, okay, then HT BT cotton, okay, then we have other things like, let's say, GM mustard, and we have BT brinjal, okay, like BT cotton, BT brinjal. So we have such kind of things. So important things that you have to learn here is that, so like, what is BT cotton? Okay, so which which is the gene that is being used here, and yes, so process for it is used for which process, the aim of this one. So such things has to be focused. Okay, BT basically refers to Bacillus thuringiensis. BT refers to Bacillus thuringiensis. So usually, so to say, it was the first genetically modified crop. So that is one. So then, BT cotton, why it has been developed? So it has been developed to have a resistance to pink bollworm pest. So that means it's a kind of pest resistant crop variety which is specifically developed to overcome the issue of pink bollworm. Okay, so worms would be of different types. So pink bollworm. So that is the type of pest. Okay, so then what change has been done? Where is the role of genetic engineering? Means through the help of genetic engineering, we have inserted certain genes called CRY1AC, CRY2AB. So these are the specific genes. CRY means it stands for crystal. Okay, crystal protein 1AC, crystal protein 2AB. So these are type of genes that we have isolated from a soil bacterium called Bacillus thuringiensis. Okay, from this bacterium, soil bacterium, we have segregated these genes and we have introduced this into the cotton seed. So cotton seed has developed resistance to the pink bollworm. So that was the result that we have got. So remember CRY1AC, CRY2B, CRY2AB, and then remember soil bacterium Bacillus thuringiensis, and remember pink bollworm, and that's the answer. Okay. Then second one, HT-BT cotton. Now it is extended version. You remember, like extended version. So BT again stands for Bacillus thuringiensis. So first thing we have taken a cotton, and for that BT, CRY1AC, CRY2 means like BT, Bacillus thuringiensis. To again to that, what we have done, we have inserted another genes. Like let's say the cotton seed has been inserted with another genes called CP4 EPSP gene. Okay, so this CP4 EPSP gene has been again isolated from another soil bacterium called Agrobacterium tumefaciens. Okay, so there is another bacterium called Agrobacterium tumefaciens. So from this bacteria, we have isolated CP4 EPSP genes. Okay, and we have introduced them to BT cotton. So there are two inherent advantages for this. One is that the HT-BT cotton is one way already it is resistant to pink bollworm, and with this incorporation it has become herbicide resistant. Okay, one is with respect to pests. Pest means would be generally insects. Herbicides means weeds. Okay, so one side pests, solution for pests, other sides solution for herbs. So herbicide, side means killing. So this will have the ability to kill the herbs. Okay, so by this process it has become double fold advantage for the cotton seeds. Okay, so what happened when we introduced this means this produces a modified protein glyphosate. Remember, this is very, very important, protein glyphosate. Read things related to this one. So somewhere you write about this glyphosate. Read about this thing, protein glyphosate. Okay, it can be picked in the exam as a theme. Okay, so mention somewhere and read about this. Okay, so it produces a modified protein glyphosate which makes it herbicide resistant. That means glyphosate will have the ability to kill, the ability to produce toxins for herbs, so that they cannot develop, they cannot continue like this. So that is one thing. So HTBT cotton, but though it is not allowed in cultivated in India, but this is one another thing that has been one another milestone with respect to genetically modified crops. Okay, then we have GM mustard. So GM mustard, genetically modified mustard. Okay, so one of the common example for genetically modified mustard with us is DMH11. So what is DMH11? Yes, Dara mustard hybrid variety 11. Okay, Dhara mustard hybrid variety 11. So that is the name. Dhara means the place. So Dhara mustard hybrid variety 11. So that is a genetically modified mustard variety. So here, what is the advantage of it means? Advantage with GM mustard is that it is with respect to the productivity. So when we look from the productivity point of view, so GM mustard yields around 30% more than the traditional mustard varieties. Okay, so in one way we can say one thing is that genetically modified crops will have resistance to herbs, resistance to pests, and genetically modified crops can also increase the yield, or can also increase the productivity, or can also help in when productivity is increased, it can also be used to increase the national income. Like for example, same thing. So yeah, you will have to think from that perspective also. Like which of the following are the important uh, important applications of genetically modified crops? That can be one thing. Okay, our purposes, which of the following purposes serve the genetically modified crops? So there you can list such kind of things. Okay, we are making it from humans perspective, and from environment perspective it can be harmful also. Wherever it is harmful, we are not aware. Okay, so from humans, which is beneficial for humans, that only we are making, but we don't know how far they will be sustainable for the environment. There are environmental concerns also, but usually it will run from anthropocentric way. Anthropocentric means which are useful or beneficial for humans, that we are making. So there would be some negative consequences also, so which will be subjected to scrutiny. So that is one thing. So what this will do, it will help to boost the edible mustard oil production. So oil production would be boosted. So obviously it will help to, like if you look at current situation, so we are heavily dependent upon the imports of the edible oil. And you read some of the statistics of oil imports and exports. So this also can be a kind of a hybrid theme for exam, like from economy as well as science and technology. Okay, so palm oil exports, palm oil export, or like edible oil exports and imports. So just refer about the statistics. So now if you see, like we have huge imports for edible oil. So if you just go for this step, so if you can just introduce this, then it may become one solution. It may provide one solution for this import issues. Are you getting that? So that is one thing. So GM mustard is resistant to another thing. It is resistant to herbicides also. Okay, so when herbs are curbed, then obviously availability of nutrients will grow. So when availability of nutrient grows, obviously production or productivity will be improved. So that's how it will also help in that manner. Yield will improve. So that is one. So just look with respect to recent developments, like what we have done. So very recently means 2 years before. So conditional environmental release of GM mustard has been granted. Conditional environmental release. That means still it has not been openly allowed for cultivation, but on trial basis, conditional environmental release. That means like we'll just go for a trial basis run. If there is any environmental issues, then we will stop. So on that condition, the government has given permission, means genetic engineering appraisal committee. Have you heard about GEAC? So refer somewhere about GEAC, Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee, GEAC. So actually this is the organization which is concerned with giving permission, means like approvals for genetically modified crops or organisms. So it has given in principle approval. In principle means with condition it has given. So that is one. So BT brinjal. BT means with as cotton we had, in the similar fashion for brinjal also. Bacillus thuringiensis brinjal. Okay. So same thing like BT concept. So that is one. So then we have golden rice. Golden rice is also a kind of genetically modified crop. So have you heard about golden rice? So what is the important thing that we have incorporated with respect to golden rice? Yes, good. So golden rice is vitamin A rich variety of rice. So here precursor is nothing but it is beta carotene. Beta carotene, it's a kind of provitamin A. That means it's a precursor for development of vitamin A in the body. So you might have heard about, for example, in carrot also we'll have carotene. So carotene would be there. Like for example, in all other vegetables also, which are rich in vitamin A. So they will have that carotene rich food. So beta carotene, we have enriched this with beta carotene product. So we have developed a variety called golden rice variety. So here you remember in Philippines we have an organization called International Rice Research Institute. Okay, so IARI. So international IRRI. So IRRI, it is International Rice Research Institute. Its headquarters is currently located in Philippines. Okay, and there are regional offices. So in India also we have regional office. So this IRRI, which is based in Philippines, headquarters are based in Philippines, it has developed the golden rice. Okay, but still in India it is not allowed to cultivate. Okay, in India it is not given permission to go for the development of golden rice variety. Okay, what would be the advantage? Like for example, when we saw BT cotton, so we are using it for pest control, like pink bollworm, for resistance to pink bollworm. So in the similar fashion, if we go for more and more production of golden rice, what would be the advantage for us? Means nowadays vitamin deficiency has become one of the important issue for us. So there we can, if we see vitamin A deficiency will lead to certain diseases, like let's say for example xerostomia, so xerophthalmia, or like a night blindness. So there are certain issues which we have. So we can also overcome the vitamin A deficiency issue on whole. Okay, so this can be a probable solution for that. Okay, that means it can provide up to 50% of daily requirement of vitamin A, which are required for adults. So thus it will help in overcoming the issue of vitamin A deficiency. So that is one another advantage.